Welcome back. This is Ethan from 115 Gaming, your home for all the tips and tools you need to improve your matches of 6 Siege the board game. So far, we've been looking at operators, gadgets, or attacker-defender strategy. This week, we're finally going to take an in-depth look at one of the most important aspects of 6 Siege, the maps. Each map is wildly different, and every one of them is endlessly replayable. Knowledge of the maps is key to determining your overall strategy in any given game of 6 Siege, whether you're the attacker or defender. Today, we're going to look at the, as of this moment, only officially released map, Consulate. One disclaimer is that we're going to assume that you are playing the bomb game mode, as Hostage has not been officially released yet. We're going to structure this breakdown into 3 sections, looking at each room, then key positions as the attacker, and finally key positions as the defender. Part 1. The rooms of Consulate. From this top-down view, you can see that Consulate is basically 5 vertical lanes put next to each other, or 3 horizontal lanes and 1 vertical lane if you look at it that way. This doesn't necessarily impact how you should play in any way, but looking at it like this allows us to organize the rooms better for our breakdown. We're going to start from the left and work our way down each lane 1 room at a time. Spiral stairs. First up, we've got the spiral stairs on the top left. This is a 3x3 room with the center square being an indestructible partition, forcing you to move completely around on either side if you want to move through this room. There are 4 key elements to this room: the window barricade here, the soft wall leading to the bathroom here, the neutral entryway token here, and the fortified wall leading into the console closet here. This room is not a vertical room. It should also be noted that a camera starts here by default as well. Console Closet. Console Closet is one of the smallest rooms in the whole map, but you'll find it is also one of the most important rooms, if the defender chooses Console Office as a site room for this game. There's a fortified wall leading into spiral stairs taking up most of the back wall here. Another neutral entryway token in the corner. Directly in front of the entryway token is a soft wall leading right into the Console Office. This room is a vertical room. It should also be noted that the entryway token in this room starts with a fortified hatch token by default. Console Office. Console Office is one of the 3 potential site rooms on Consulate. As such, it is one of the most important rooms on the map. There's a lot going on in this room. This room is a vertical room. We've got 2 empty doorways, one leading into the console closet at the top, and the other leading out into the console front desk room. Next to each of these doorways is also a single soft wall. There's a window barricade right next to this double-spaced obstacle sitting in the middle of the room. A fortified wall also takes up this whole lower right wall at the bottom of this room. Finally, if you choose this room as a site room, the bomb token will be placed here by default. The bathroom. Welcome to the most oversized bathroom you've ever seen, with all of this long space and only 2 toilets. The bathroom can be an often picked entry room for the attackers, as sometimes the defenders leave it bare to focus on rooms closer to the site. This room is a vertical room. There's 1 open doorway here, with 2 soft walls right next to it, leaving potential for a massive door to be opened leading into the console front desk room. There is also a soft wall that leads to the top row of the spiral stairs room here. There's a single space obstacle right next to the single window space here, and it should be noted that a barbed wire token starts here by default. Finally, we would also like to highlight that this bathroom must have the strongest stall walls in between the 2 toilets, as the wall here is an indestructible partition separating the 2. Console front desk. The console front desk is one of the 4 rooms that are in the middle of the map and not on the perimeter. As such, it's got a lot going on, and can be one of the most versatile rooms on the map. This room is not a vertical room. It has 3 open doorways, 1 leading to the lobby, 1 leading to the console office, and finally 1 leading to the bathroom. By default, there are also 2 barricaded doorways, 1 leading to the spiral stairs, and 1 leading to the waiting room. The bathroom, waiting room, and console office all also have soft walls adjacent to their doorways. There's a double-spaced obstacle sitting in the upper left side of this room. The waiting room. The waiting room is one of the most important rooms on the map, as it is a connector to 2 of the site rooms. You can select admin as one of the site rooms, but even then, no matter what you select, this room will always be adjacent to 1 of the site rooms. There's 1 open doorway with 2 soft walls next to it leading to the console front desk. There's a barricaded doorway by default leading into the meeting room here. There's a fortified wall leading into the console office in the lower left wall here. There's a single spaced obstacle here in the middle of the room. By default, there's a barbed wire next to the single window here, as well as a camera setup in the lower right corner here. Main stairs. The main stairs are situated on the top of the map, and is square on the top of the straightest lane to a site room here, and as such is another critically important room on the map. This is not a vertical room. There's a double-spaced barricaded doorway by default here leading into the lobby. There are 3 windows in this room, 1 double-spaced window on top of the room, and 2 single-spaced windows right next to it. There's a neutral entryway token in the upper right corner here, which is next to these 2 windows. There is also a fortified single-spaced wall right here leading into the copy room, which is also next to the neutral entryway token. Finally, there is a camera looking into this room by default. The lobby. The lobby is the room square in the middle of the map. It connects a lot of rooms together, and as such, does hold the potential to be one of the most important rooms on the map. This is a vertical room. There are 2 open doorways, one leading to the console front desk, and one leading to the kitchen. There's a barricaded doorway leading to main stairs, and there's a double-spaced soft wall here leading into the meeting room. Finally, there's a double-spaced obstacle on the lower middle of the room. The meeting room. Meeting room is one of the 3 potential site rooms on the map. This is a vertical room. There's one open doorway leading into both the straight stairs and the front office. There's a barricaded doorway leading into the waiting room, a double-spaced window at the bottom of the room here, and a double-spaced soft wall leading into the lobby here. There's a neutral entryway token in the upper left corner, which has a fortified hatch by default. Finally, the bomb token is placed on the far right side of the room here, next to the double-spaced obstacle directly in the middle of the room. Balcony. While the balcony is not technically a room, and it sits outside of the building, we would be remiss if we didn't call it out specifically to highlight this entryway token right here, which is neutral. This means that this space can be used by both the attackers and the defenders. And with a double-spaced barricade leading right into one of the site rooms, that makes control of this small space vital in a given game. The copy room. The copy room is another small room, but also another often favored entry point for an attacker, as it can be overlooked by the defenders to its position in the map layout. It connects admin and the main stairs together, as well as lead into the 2 small rooms here. This is a vertical room. There's a single window here, 2 barricaded doorways by default which lead to admin and the kitchen. There's an open doorway leading to the break room, 2 soft walls by the doors on the small rooms, the fortified wall space leads to the main stairs, and finally there is a camera setup here by default. The kitchen. This is a vertical room. There's 2 double-spaced open doorways leading into the lobby and the front office. There's a double-spaced obstacle taking up the whole wall on the left here, and a barbed wire token is placed here by default. The break room. This is not a vertical room. It has only 1 doorway leading into the copy room here. Everything else is a soft wall that must be broken through. A double-spaced one leading to the admin, 2 single-spaced ones leading to copy room and the front office. There's also a double-spaced obstacle taking up the left side of this whole wall. The front office. With admin being a juicy entryway spot for the attackers, the front office is often a sought-after connector room to reach the meeting room. This is a vertical room. It's got 3 open doorways leading to kitchen, admin, and straight stairs/meeting room. There's also a single-spaced obstacle placed right here near this corner in the lower right. Straight stairs. Straight stairs, or more accurately, the meat grinder. This narrow hallway has been the resting place of many operators in our games. This is not a vertical room. There's a neutral entryway spot here. There is 1 fortified wall leading to admin offices. A couple of key things to note about this room. This space here is part of straight stairs, not front office or meeting room. More importantly, from either the entryway token or the fortified token, an operator's single move action will not get you out of this room, meaning if you want to go from these 2 spots, you'll have to run to get into front office or the meeting room. Admin offices. This is a vertical room. This is also one of the 3 potential bomb sites on this map, with the bomb placed here. There's an open doorway leading into the front office, a soft wall leading to the break room, and the fortified wall leading into the straight stairs. There are 3 window spaces, here, here, and here. There's a camera placed here by default. There are 5 obstacles in this room. What makes this room so spicy, and often contested, is this neutral entryway token sitting right here in the middle of the room. Attackers can use this to flank or retreat, and defenders can use this to rotate or drop behind unsuspecting attackers. As such, this room is used in almost every match. Part 2. Consulate for attackers. While there's obviously no way to fully break down every strategic aspect of every map, here are just a few things we've discovered while playing the attackers on Consulate. Sightlines. There's a lot of really long sightlines on Consulate that you can hold with long-range operators like Glaz or Kali from outside the map while your other operators make a push. There's a straight line right down the middle lane here, which if you open it up, you can cut off the entire middle lane of the map from the defenders, cutting off rotation pathways and keeping the defenders separated. The 2 windows on the wall of admin here have a line of sight to this key entryway space, but more importantly, they directly see right down into the front office. The spot from this upper window has a line of sight to the entrance from front office to straight stairs and meeting room. From the window on console office, you can overwatch all the way through the console front desk and even into a little bit of the lobby. If you've opened the fortified wall in the waiting room here, you can have a direct line of sight straight through to the meeting room. Finally, if the walls open upright, you can have a straight line of sight from the bathroom window straight down to the console front desk and to the waiting room. I'm sure there's more long lines of sight we haven't discovered yet, but these should get the ball rolling in your head on what to look for when trying to find good, long angles. Thermite's big booms. There's some pretty cool spots on this map for Thermite specifically to make some really big explosions that can clear a lot of good utility. Because Thermite's area of effect goes through all partitions, you can get some cheeky plays. Here are just a couple. If you blow this hatch in the console closet, you'll clear the hatch, the soft wall, the fortified wall, and a hatchway here if the defender has placed one. If you blow the hatchway in the meeting room, both the hatchway and the big soft wall here will blow. Blowing the hatchway on main stairs will clear both these 2 windows, this fortified wall, and this camera placement. You can blow up this spot outside of the waiting room to clear the window, the barbed wire, and the fortified wall in the console office. If you blow the hatchway on balcony, you will also clear the main door into the meeting room. If you blow this space outside of the bathroom, you can clear the camera and soft wall and spiral stairs, and the window and barbed wire in the bathroom. Again, these aren't all the good spots for this, but these are just a few of the ones we've discovered. good entry points. Picking the best spot to enter the map from is key in establishing a good momentum in a game. Keep in mind that this is obviously subject to how the defender sets up his site, but here are some of our recommendations. Main stairs and spiral stairs. Main stairs and spiral stairs are good rooms to enter from if the defender has a lot of vertical abilities, like Pulse, as these two rooms are not rooms that can be affected by vertical actions. The bathroom can also be a good entry point because it's far enough away from all the site rooms that the defender can often let that room slide and not really set anything up there. Admin can be a decent option if the defender doesn't really set up. Just make sure you clear cameras and that you watch that entryway spot religiously if you choose to enter from here. If there's a lot of defender traffic in this room, we'd recommend entering from somewhere else more safe. Meeting room and console office. Sometimes with an overwhelming force and use of gadgets like stun and smoke grenades, you can make a big and fast push directly into the meeting room from the balcony to really throw off the defender. Just be careful of the entryway spot, the soft wall on the back, and the straight stairs for flanks and rotations by the defender. Likewise, you can make a good round one push into the console office from the window or from the console closet, or from the waiting room to overwhelm the defender. Be careful with these kinds of entries, and only do so if you are confident and have mentally worked out all the actions necessary to get in and secure a good hold. Once again, this is not a complete look at every operator and every single space in the map, but we do hope these 3 tips will allow you to start to think differently about how you should push into the map and manipulate the map going forward as an attacker. Part 3. Consulate for defenders. Again, while there's obviously no way to fully break down every strategic aspect of every map, here are just a few things we've discovered while playing the defenders on Consulate. Bandits' wires. Bandits' barbed wires are interesting because they affect all adjacent spaces and they go through red walls and castles' armor walls, which means you can get some nifty setups here that will close off entry points for the attackers. Here's some spots we think are good. You can double up the tokens on the entrance to the balcony here to try and close off this spot. Doubling them up ensures that Thermite cannot easily destroy both with one charge. You can double up the tokens here at the top of main stairs to block off all these entry windows plus this entryway space. You can also double up the tokens here on the console office window. As for single space spots, there's the red wall here in the console closet, which is next to this entryway space as well. There's the red wall at the bottom of the console office here that you could use to keep the attacker from breaching from the waiting room. And there's the spot here in the straight stairs, which affects the entryway spot and the spot outside of this red wall here. Castle's walls. Castle's walls are rough, because keep in mind that out of the entire roster of defenders, no one has a red destruction rating, meaning you'll be blocking yourself off from these doorways as well as the attacker. With that in mind, for beginners, it is probably best that you put these on window spots until you become more comfortable in the game. The natural places to put them when starting out are the 2 double windowed sight rooms here and here. These won't stop the attacker from coming through here, but it will force the attacker to spend their precious gadgets to get in. As for more advanced placement, we at 115, well, we'll just be honest here and say that we're not fully sure what the best place for them is yet. I myself have been experimenting putting these walls all around the inside of the map, and every time I've done it, it usually backfires on me when I need to rotate later in the game. For now, we'll recommend putting them on the perimeter spots around the map, and perhaps we'll update this video when I find more success using these inside the map. Mute's jammers. Mute's jammers are interesting because they only affect spaces inside the gadget's room, so you won't be blocking any good thermite charges targeting the outside spaces. However, these jammers will block drones, Twitch's shock drones, Fuse's cluster charges, and Blitz's flash shield charges. Because of this, I think the best placement for these is in the sight rooms. You want to force the attacker to have to waste time clearing out those jammers before they can make a good push, giving you time to position your sight defense effectively. Deployable shield / barbed wire spots. Having talked about these in the Defender Gadget Guide, we won't spend a ton of time on them here. I think these are best placed in narrow hallways and doors. The problem in regards to this idea is that Consulate is a map that has a lot of wide open spaces and not a lot of narrow hallways like some of the other maps. Still, here are a couple of potential placements. Straight stairs and spiral stairs are natural candidates for a good place to slow down the attacker's push. Additionally, I think the console closet could be another good placement for barbed wire as well. I think this space at the front of straight stairs, but in between the front office and meeting room, is another good spot. You could also double up either tokens on some of these double-spaced doorways. The key here is to remember that deployable shields have the potential to slow down both you and the attackers, but barbed wire will only affect the attackers. So keep that in mind as you're considering which of these spots to set up in. Breached wall spots. If you're playing with the forward planning module in the rulebook, and I honestly believe you should, you are also allowed to place up to 3 breached wall tokens on soft walls around the map. This possibility really opens up what you're able to do in your setup phase as the defender. Here are some good spots to think about. For those who've seen our bathroom breach gameplay video, you'll already be aware of this wall on the bathroom right here, which, if opened, allows you to have a sight on both of these 2 windows. Additionally, you can also open up the soft wall directly beneath this sight to have a direct line of sight down the front desk room. And if you open up this soft wall here on the waiting room, you can directly watch both of these windows, the console front desk, as well as the window into the waiting room. That's an entire lane covered by one operator. Conversely, you could also watch the bathroom from the waiting room by opening up these 2 walls and watching the bathroom window from here. You can open up this wall on the console closet here to ensure attackers don't drop down into the console closet. You could open up this big wall wall in the break room to get a line of sight on the admin windows. Opening up both of these small walls in the break room also allows you to overwatch the copy room window from the front office. Opening up the large wall in the meeting room is also a possibility. I cannot attest to the effectiveness of this yet, as I have yet to be able to try it out myself, but it could certainly allow you to gain an early line of sight down the middle lane entirely. And that's it for now on our Consulate breakdown. As you can tell, it was more of a basic breakdown. We will probably revisit this map when the full roster of operators becomes available, and more possibilities are opened up on the map. As for this video, we focused on the best things to think about in regards to just the base game operators. We hope this guide has been helpful for you, and that it helps you to start to think about Consulate in new and interesting ways. Up next on 115 Gaming, we'll be continuing our operator breakdown series, as well as new gameplay and analysis videos. We're planning on covering some games that are not 6 Siege as well. So subscribe so you don't miss anything. Have a good one, and we'll see you next week.